welcome to this explainer. Okay, we've got a seriously fascinating journey ahead of us today. We're going to explore the hidden digital architecture of some of the globe's most prominent institutions. Now, every single day, millions of people browse the internet looking for data, insights, maybe policy updates, but very few actually stop to look at the massive digital infrastructure operating quietly in the background. So today, using official source data, we're pulling back the curtain together to reveal the true anatomy of the invisible web. So when you visit a massive global organization site, like the World Bank or the World Economic Forum, you're presented with this highly polished, totally professional interface. But what are you actually agreeing to when you browse? What systems are you interacting with? And honestly, what systems are interacting with you? To really understand this, we have to start at the absolute edge of the digital perimeter. And a lot of times, that perimeter looks exactly like this: a literal digital brick wall, a 403 access denied error. According to the CloudFront source documentation, this happens when a request is blocked because the server simply refuses to connect to the app or website at that exact moment. Could be traffic, could be security protocols. It's just a stark reminder that before you ever reach public data, you have to be granted permission by a vast automated security apparatus. But hey, what actually happens when we do get in? Section 1. Structuring Global Developments. Well, once we get past those error pages and look at an institution like the World Bank, we can see exactly how they categorize human existence. They structure global development into 5 massive overarching pillars: people, planet, prosperity, infrastructure, and digital. It's a highly organized taxonomy, basically designed to fit every single facet of human progress and challenge into neat, manageable little boxes. And honestly, the sheer breadth of what those 5 pillars contain is mind-boggling. If you actually dig into the subtopics, you're hopping from nuclear energy and capital markets on one end of the spectrum, all the way over to girls' education, food security, and early childhood development on the other. It is a completely totalizing view of the world, capturing everything from macroeconomic infrastructure down to the most granular levels of social development. Now, the official outward-facing goal behind this massive structure, the source material says it's for tackling complex, intertwined challenges with knowledge, experience, and innovation. It sounds noble, right? But I want you to keep that specific phrase, complex, intertwined challenges, in the back of your mind. Because as we're about to see, while these institutions track and categorize global development on the front end, there is a highly complex, intertwined tracking mechanism running quietly on the back end, and it categorizes things in a very different way. Which brings us to Section 2, the Cookie Consent Labyrinth. Picture this. You land on the World Economic Forum site, and you click that simple Accept All button. You're greeted with this super polite, totally innocuous phrasing: "We would also like to set optional marketing cookies to personalize content and performance cookies to improve the website." It sounds completely harmless, just a helpful little technical request to make your reading experience better. But to really get what's happening, we need to decode the jargon they use in their own privacy preference center. Let's start with performance cookies. Officially, the definition says they help website owners understand how visitors interact with websites by collecting and reporting information anonymously. Pages visited, links clicked, time spent. But let's be real, when they say interact, they are really talking about behavioral tracking. They are literally measuring your exact footsteps through their digital halls. Then we've got targeting, or marketing cookies, and the fine print here is pretty clear on the real intent. They're used for marketing purposes, delivering relevant ads, and measuring ad effectiveness. These are specifically designed to track you across different websites to build a profile for third-party publishers and advertisers. So in just a couple of clicks, we've gone from a polite request to improve the website straight into a highly sophisticated data collection apparatus. Section 3. The Scale of Digital Tracking. Okay, understanding the jargon is one thing, but looking at the raw numbers, it is a real eye-opener. Out of all the cookies running on this site, only 48 are actually classified as necessary to make the website function. Another 29 are for your preferences, like language settings, but check out the overwhelming majority: 186 performance cookies and 107 marketing cookies. The vast, overwhelming majority of the code you just accepted is dedicated entirely to tracking your behavior and marketing to you, not to keeping the site running. The imbalance there is just staggering. And it gets even wilder when we look at how long these things stick around. The source data reveals this fascinating, honestly, kind of absurd contrast. On one hand, you have simple little pixels like cookiebot1.gif that only last for your browsing session. The second you close the tab, poof, it's gone. But then you have marketing trackers like the Baidu HM account cookie. Its stated maximum storage duration? 14 years. A tracker set to monitor your device across marketing channels for over a decade, just because you visited a global economic forum. And we aren't just talking about one or two random companies here. This is a massive, invisible web of global tech entities silently collecting user data. If you dig into the policy, Google alone is injecting 97 distinct cookies. Chartbeat has 33. YouTube has 25. Throw in Alibaba, Spotify, Twitter, LinkedIn, Quantcast. It's an intricate global tracking network scaling from micro-level error logging to macro-level behavioral marketing, all hiding behind a single, clean interface. Oh, and here's another crazy detail straight from the text. Say you happen to interact with an embedded 3D view or an audio widget on the site, like a SoundCloud widget. You aren't just listening to a quick audio clip. The SC anonymous ID cookie placed by that widget has a maximum storage duration of 10 years. 10 years of tracking an anonymous ID on your device simply for hitting play on a piece of embedded media. Which ultimately brings us to this massive number right here, 370. That is the grand total of individual cookies you opt into when you casually click that Accept All button on the World Economic Forum's banner. 370 separate scripts, pixels, and trackers executing on your device, phoning home to dozens of different global corporations, with a lot of them camping out on your device for years. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really chew on. What do our digital footprints actually say about us when we browse these global development sites? We go to these institutions to learn about how they are categorizing and solving the world's biggest problems, right? From climate change to global poverty. Yet at the exact same time, an invisible web is categorizing us, tracking our behaviors, and feeding our data into a massive, unseen commercial infrastructure. The next time you click Accept All, just remember those 370 trackers waiting in the dark. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and definitely keep questioning the systems that run our digital world.